condemned by many scholars, and we were against it because they were assuming that using mortgage to buy properties is a solution for those individuals seeking to own their own properties. However, we believe that the ma'siyah, using the sin, sin will never bring something good. And in particular, if the sin is one of the grave sins, such as this riba. And we knew for sure that this riba will not lead to the well-being of the society. That's why we were against this fatwa. Now, of course, the scale of conventional mortgage used by Muslims is so small compared to the scale of mortgage used by the non-Muslims. That's why the crisis took place in non-Muslim countries or in America, and mainly took place against non-Muslims, and because Muslims were not using these conventional mortgages in that scale. After some time, what happened? Those people who started to borrow some money and used to put their properties as collaterals opposite that money, as I said, they started to borrow other amounts of money. After some time, the banks, they used to bundle certain number of mortgages and used to sell them to big investors. Selling those mortgages, what does it mean? It means that they are shifting the risk from being incurred by the banks to those big investors or to other big banks. Okay? Now, from an Islamic perspective, this is not allowed. Why? Because you are selling a debt. You are not selling a tangible commodity. You are selling a debt. And moreover, you are shifting a risk from yourself for an amount of money, and putting it on someone else. Moreover, selling a debt means selling money for more money, which is a clear riba. Okay? Now, those big investors, they used to be known as the investors in something called hedge funding. What is hedge funding? Hedge funding is big funds that attracted very rich people, selected rich people, and those hedge funds are free from the controls applied by the US governments. And so they are free to do and manipulate whatever they want. And they used to borrow big amounts of money, and they used to invest, in large amount of money as well. Now, what added to the problem is that the insurance companies, they won't allow everybody playing with the money without them being part of the game. So they went to the banks that have not sold the mortgages to the big investors, and they also went to the big investors, and they started to offer them insurance if the original mortgagees fail to pay off the debts. Is that clear? Okay? And now I think this debt insurance is available in the market. What does debt insurance mean? It means that if you have a debt and you are planning to pay off the debt, you insure your debt. Means if you die or you fail to pay off the debt genuinely, as they say, then the insurance company will pay off the debt in your behalf, and you will go freely. Okay? So the insurance companies, they started to offer those big investors and some of the banks insurance over those mortgages. Now, as you can see from this complicated game, that it started with properties, and the original price of, for example, each property is £300,000. Then the prices went up, and then went up, and then money was created over the individual properties, and again insurance was built on that. So this reminds us with what is known as creation of money. Creation of money takes place when there is no tangible money as a commodity to be sold and to be bought, but everyone is buying intangible money, and everyone is putting a threshold or making a profit on something that is not tangible. So this creation of money took place. And this money, okay, which is non-tangible money, which is mainly electronic money, okay, as you know, Islam is against that kind of money. Why and how? If you remember when we spoke, okay, in some lectures about creation of money, and we said creation of money mainly took place when the goldsmith used to keep certain amount of golds, and they used to issue receipts for the golds that they used to keep. After some time, they started to issue receipts more than the amounts of physical gold that they used to keep. And they started to increase that until they reach a formula that they are able to lend money 10 times equal the physical amount of gold they have. Okay? So this is basically creation of money. Where did this money come from? Okay, from nothing. And that's why this money, which is nothing but digital, okay, digital money, can collapse easily, because there is no assets to back this money. And that's why from an Islamic perspective, they say creation of money is totally prohibited, and each amount of money has to be backed up by an asset. This is what they say. But actually, if you want to look at it from an Islamic perspective, you should say that there is no money backed by money. Gold itself is money, and it should not be backed by another money, because itself is a money. Is money. This property is money. Okay? Now, the paper money should not be considered as money. It should be considered as receipt to what? To represent an amount of gold. This is what the people of Sharia say, that any money should be backed by assets. This is what they mean. Anyway, we don't want to discuss this point. So the creation of money started to take place. And just, it is really funny or weird to know that, for example, today in Financial Times, they were condemning the